Tonight, stadium lights flip on across America, and everybody shouts, "It's football season!" But I'm here to tell you, it's actually band season. And if you've ever skipped the halftime show for Nachos, then this one's for you. So stick around. Because to me, it's always been band season. From Stickman, from WUSY US 101 on Facebook. Welcome to Soundstage EDU, where we help fine arts programs thrive on the field, on the stage, and in the culture of your school. I'm Mike, your friendly neighborhood cool dad and marching arts lifer who still wears a bandan with pride. A post blew up recently in a parent group that I'm a part of this morning. Shout out to Stickman at WUSY US 101 Facebook page or group. I believe he was from a page about why band matters on Friday nights. The sweat, the discipline, the community, and the show that most folks miss while fussing about the last call. We're turning that energy into a love letter and a challenge to every student section, sideline, and booster within earshot. While everyone else was squeezing in one last lake weekend, our kids were out in August heat learning dots carving drill and chasing that 8 to 5 like it owed them money. Hydration charts, sunscreen roulette, rehearsals that look suspiciously like athletics, because they are. If you're new here, marching band isn't just magic. It's physical training with instruments attached. Athletic trainers and the folks at NATA literally publish heat, acclimatization, and hydration guidance for band students, just like they do for sports, because uniforms trap heat and the workload is real. NFHS even hosts safety resources specifically for marching bands, and state groups like the UIL in Texas push heat tips for the rehearsals and show days of band students. Translation: this is a disciplined, high-output team activity, period. There was even a time when I was in drum corps when some medical staff came out and hooked up a drummer. He was a tenor drummer. They hooked him up with medical devices to measure his output, oxygen, blood pressure, heart rate, all of that. All the things you would hook up to someone on a treadmill that was getting a stress test done on their hearts. They did this to a student on the field in the heat doing a rehearsal. The information that study produced was astounding. And this doctor said they are absolutely athletes. The demands put on their body is immeasurable. However, they did measure it. I remember as a kid, we're learning a part of our show during a heat advisory. Now, this wasn't during high school band camp. This was during drum corps every days. So we're talking early June, the beginning of summer, when the heat's just starting to ramp up. And I did my first year in drum corps was in, was it Mobile? No, it was in Alabama. Montgomery, that's where it was. Had a blank there. It was in Montgomery, Alabama. And our practice field was right next to a swamp on an Air Force base. You want to talk about hot? It was hot. Humid. Driving out to the field after breakfast at 7 in the morning, the temperature was already 100 degrees. But I remember the stress that put on the entire group. So they had special pacing in place, shade breaks, special leadership. I mean, just leadership was instrumental in making sure we were taking care of ourselves. And we were constantly adjusting our plan to make sure we could get in a good rehearsal for that day. We were mindful of the heat. We had to be, because we couldn't afford to have anybody falling out due to heat illness. So it's hard work. We were athletes. So let's go back to halftime. What is it? It's not just a filler. The halftime show that you're seeing, it's not just a filler. It's narrative. These kids don't just play tunes. I mean, they may have used to at one point. They go out there and honk on the 50, right? Playing show tunes and everybody clapped and went to the... I get that. But it's changed. Now they thread design, drill, emotion into a story, not just music, but a story that they've been building since camp. If you've only watched with one ear while waiting on a pretzel, try watching the whole arc. The opener punch, the ballad breath, and the closer that leaves the field smoking. Now here at the beginning of the year, they might not have that whole show on the field, but some groups do. But are you curious where the competitive side lies? Where it lives? Why we do this? Enter an organization called Bands of America. That's the national stage where programs bring that same artistry to judged events. Music for All, the nonprofit behind BOA, serves hundreds of thousands each year with championships and education. Their philosophy? Music education changes lives, and judging focuses on educational growth as much as rankings. Now, I didn't have any BOA experience, not even regionals. But I did have something that's called OBA, Oklahoma Bandmasters Association, where we had our own state finals, our own state competition, our own state top 25. And the whole crowd that showed up to that, they were there to see just us and the other bands. We weren't just an accoutrement to halftime period, the lull where the team was going to rest. They came to see us. And it made me realize then that what we were doing was real art and real entertainment, and it was something that the people wanted to see. So why not put my best into it? And then when I went to drum corps, it was even bigger. We'd have tens of thousands of people in the stands, standing ovation, yelling, cheering for us, shouting names. It was on TV. Later it was on ESPN. Now it's on Flow Marching on the internet. The point is, it's important. It's impactful. It's meaningful. Maybe not for everybody, but for those involved, it absolutely is. And we need your support. Now back to that post that inspired this. His name was Stickman. Stickman with a Y, S-T-Y-C-K, man. The heart of his post was belonging. For some kids, band is the reason they can face Monday. And the research backs what we see. Participation in music correlates with focus, persistence, collaboration, and long-term achievement. It shapes brains and habits in ways that ripple into academics and life. And policy caught up. Under the Every Student Succeeds Act, music and the arts are named as part of a quote-unquote well-rounded education. Unlocking ways schools can support and fund these programs, not extras, but essential programs. That's federal language. Not some local hype. That's federal language. Not just this band dad's poetry. So when a kid says, band taught me how to win humbly, lose with my head high, work alone and work in a team, that's not a cute yearbook quote. That's not a feel-good mantra. That's Youth Development 101. And also, let's not forget this. This is one of my favorites, and I'm glad to see it coming up, knowing that it wasn't just me, or, I know it was something that someone told me, but I'm glad to see it still alive. And it goes like this. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And my favorite part, if you're late, that's unacceptable. And right now, I can hear 1,000 band directors nodding. Because I feel at some point we've all said that. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know how it permeated into our culture, but it's true. If my kid was sitting in here right now while I was recording this, she would definitely be rolling her eyes because she hears that from me all the time. Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. And that brings me to a story of a former student I had. Long time ago, almost 20 years. And gosh, that's hard to believe. I am not that old, y'all, but maybe I am that old. I don't know. But I'm just going to touch on him for just a moment because he brought it to me, that same thing, that same discipline, a few years ago, before this ever started, before I ever even considered going back into the education segment, even before I started consulting, even before I started to even think about standing in front of a drum line again. He said to me in a message, "Hey man, I'm glad to reconnect with you. A lot going on in my life. It was because of you that I am where I am. It's because of you that I have the philosophy of being on time." Because I used to drill them with that. Early is on time. And I've even heard things that I've said to him as a student come up in some of his Facebook Lives. I mean, this guy's out there making moves. His name is Chris. I'm happy to say he's a good old friend of mine. And he's not immune to, adult things and adult lives and changing jobs and bad bosses. But the guy perseveres. He perseveres because of what he learned in the fine arts. And I'm proud to see him grow. I'm proud to see him really expand his life. In fact, he sent me a voice note the other day because I asked a group of y'all to do it, that I wanted voice notes about stories. And he actually sent me a voice note about what I did for him. Not really what I did for him. I mean, it was my job, but what it meant to him. And I didn't download it. I'm going to play it straight from my messenger, and we're going to hope for the best. We're going to hope that my microphone picks this up just fine. I'm going to move over to the speaker, and we're going to play this message. So here it goes.
How's it going, guys? My name's Chris. Mike DeJean was my drumline instructor back in 2004 to 2007. Some of the things that I learned from him was dedication. I've used that to propel my life, and now I'm a professional in my craft. And it doesn't even have to do with drumline, but I have my own rhythm. And sometimes our rhythm is outside of others, and Mike helps push those outside of the social norms. He includes everybody from all walks of life, and he creates them. He puts them in a way that really connects them to the world around them, and I think that's an amazing thing.
So that was Chris. And hopefully that came through okay and that you guys could hear that. Maybe we'll do some audio touch-up. I mean, that is my core profession at this moment. So we'll make it good. That's what band does for people. And that's what your support is helping to provide or give access to for them. So back to that post from Stickman. The part that I loved most in that viral post, the reciprocity. Bands lift the stadium every Friday. Pep tunes, fight song, stand tunes on defense. The whole vibe machine. I remember one time in my college marching band, University of Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, for all you haters. But anyway, one year, this was the 90s, 94, 95, I don't remember when. Bottom line is, back then we were not any good. We had gone through an extensive period of lack. We weren't doing well. Bad coaching, bad teams, whatever. Doesn't matter. But we were still there. The band was still there. And one game, one game we got in trouble. You see, the university had just spent millions of dollars on this big Jumbotron so they could show videos and ads and play stuff. I mean, what else are you supposed to do with the Jumbotron, right? You get it. But we got in trouble because we were playing too much and they couldn't hear the Jumbotron, or we were interfering with the Jumbotron. So what did we do the next game? We played the fight song over 350 times. It made the news. That's how ridiculous it was. It made the news because we played the fight song so much and the fans were sick of it. But you know what? We were supporting our team. It's not our fault you didn't want us to support it. It's not our fault that you weren't supporting them. I mean, half of those fans would leave by the second or third quarter anyway because it was hopeless. But we lift up the stadium. That's what we do in the band. So, ADs, coaches, let's return the favor. Students, parents, let's return the favor. So here's a challenge for you to help return that favor. Coaches, pick one Saturday this fall. Put it on the team calendar. Bring your players and cheer team to a band competition. Local, state, BOA, MEA, whatever you can. If you can, do it. Athletic directors, mention the band contest on Friday's PA for all the school to hear. So maybe the students will show up. Because what if the contest is at your school? Because sometimes that is the case. I know there are schools that host. Some school has to host it. So why not announce it in the morning announcements to let the school body know, hey guys, there's going to be a band contest here. There's going to be bands from all over the region, including our band. Come support your band. Pirate Pride, Patriot Pride, Tiger Pride, all the different high schools I've been a part of. Trailblazers. Come support them. Read the show title in these morning announcements. The student leaders' names at halftime. Give them recognition. And then parents and students, wear school colors to the competition and sit together. Make a statement. Let everyone know you're there. Learn the applause moments, the brass feature, the guard toss, the battery break, the big hit and the closer. You're allowed to applaud at these and be loud. Let's do it. Why? Because competition days are the playoffs for band. And just like you stand up and cheer when a great play is made on the football field, you need to jump up and cheer when a great moment happens in the halftime show. These kids deserve a student section too. And if you've ever seen a full finals night competition, trust me, it's absolutely electric. So how do you watch a halftime show? If it's something you've never done, I'm hoping that this got shared out to some of you that need this information. So how do you watch a halftime show? It's simple. There's 5 simple tips, 5 simple steps you can take for brand new eyes. Most shows consist of 3 parts. Stay for all of them. They commonly build like acts in a movie. Some may have 4 or 5 pieces of music, but there's still 3 core parts. Opener, ballad, closer. Stay for all of them. And while watching the show, look for shapes. Watch form changes and impacts on chords. Look for those moments that are designed to entertain you and to catch your attention. Listen for layers. There's low brass foundation, woodwind runs, battery texture, front ensemble color. Catch how they interlock and interact with one another. And then cheer smart. Big visual moments, soloists, clean rifle catches, exposed woodwind runs. Let it rip. Let them know you heard it. The kids can hear you. They can see you jump up and cheer. Let them see that feeds them. What they're doing out there is not exhausting when they're doing it. The reactions that you give to them feed their energy, and they need that. And then finally, celebrate the story. Read the show title in the program, then watch how the music and drill serve that idea. And if you don't understand it, which I'll be honest with you, there's some shows I've seen and I've known what's going to happen, and I don't understand it. And you know what that meant? That starts conversation. And then people are talking about it, and that conversation becomes infectious. And then in some of these shows that are like high stakes productions, you watch them develop over the course of time, and you see them come together, and you see that vision start to represent itself on the field. And it is simply amazing. One group I saw do that this year with excellence during the drum corps season was Carolina Crown. First, when I heard about their music, I was excited. I was like, well, that's cool. They're going to play Carl Orff and Mahler, Carmina Burana. That music's exciting. It's different. A little strange for the field, I thought. And it kept changing from week to week throughout the season. And by finals night, it was pure pageantry. It was theater on the field. It was amazing to watch it come together. That's how you watch halftime show. So I'm going to just take a moment here because it's still hot. Parents, directors, volunteers, here's a quick PSA for you. Heat and hydration matter, even in the September sun. Those marching uniforms that they're wearing, those layers, they trap heat. So plan shade, water, acclimatization. Follow NATA, NFHS, UIL guidance. Prehydrate, schedule breaks. Don't just wait for it to look like they need a break. Schedule them. Make them take the breaks. Don't make them play the whole game. Give them time to recoup. Watch for dizziness or cramps. And treat band like the athletic commitment that it is. Keep your players healthy. Now, if your district celebrates wins, why not add these to the scoreboard? Retention and belonging, numbers and fine arts. Academic wins tied to music participation. Character moments. Leadership, humility, perseverance. The stuff colleges and employers care about. Yes, the research supports it. And no, this isn't just dad bragging. I will say all day that our kids are amazing. Our fine arts kids are amazing. Our band kids are amazing. And it's not just because I have a kid in it. The research supports it because I have lived it. Because I know so many of you directors that are listening to it lived it as well, but somehow along along the line forgot that connection. And maybe you didn't, but you're sitting on it and you're quiet because you're tired of being beat down by all the naysayers. It's time to stand up, guys. And for the administrators, remember, federal policy names music as part of a well-rounded education. That should show up in planning, schedules, facilities, and funding. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with that, but I'm going to keep beating it until that horse whinnies. So here's your homework for band season kickoff. Stay for the halftime show. And cheer like your kid's GPA depends on it. Don't act like you feel weird. Don't feel weird about it. Cheer for your kid. Cheer for all those kids. Pick a Saturday to attend a competition. I can't believe I'm even going to suggest that to the parents. Go to the competition. Post a clip and tag your school's fine arts. Just be mindful of copyrights. Thank a band director. Maybe two. They haven't slept since camp, I promise. And to Stickman. Thanks for the reminder. Thanks for posting that. We're clapping for the touchdowns. And we're standing for halftime. If this hit home on any level with you, share the episode with your booster group, your athletic director, your coaching staff, and subscribe to this podcast. Drop a rating, leave a comment. Those things really help us right now. And in doing so, in those comments, tell me your favorite halftime moment from tonight. Or maybe a past favorite halftime moment. We'll feature a few next week. But until then, this is Soundstage EDU. We'll see you on the 50. And as always, let's raise the bar together.